In 2012, the Collaborative Partnership on Forests introduced the Wangari Maathai Award, one of the most prestigious forest accolades. It recognizes extraordinary efforts by an individual to improve and sustain forests and the people who depend on them. The award honors the memory of Kenyan environmentalist Wangari Maathai, a champion of forest issues worldwide and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. The 2014 winner, being recognized for her pioneering efforts to preserve forests and alleviate poverty in her native country, is Mexican environmental campaigner Martha Isabel Pati Ruiz Corzo. Through her Sierra Gorda ecological group, she successfully lobbied the government for the creation of the Sierra Gorda Biosphere Reserve in 1997. It is one of the most ecologically diverse areas of Mexico and home to threatened species such as jaguars, green macaws, as well as 800 types of butterfly. She joins us now. Patty, thank you for coming and congratulations on the award.
Pleasure. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Now, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background, please.
I got to the mountains in Sierra Gorda 32 years ago. Yeah.
From Mexico City,
From
I believe?
Querétaro City. Okay. I used to be a musician and music teacher. But when I was 30, my husband, my two sons, were ready for a change of life. And we decided to go back to our roots and to learn to live with little, and went to the mountains, yeah, and live by our own. Yeah, then I did homeschooling to my children, and I lived surrounded by such a beautiness.
That's wonderful. What does this award mean to you, the Wangari Maathai Award?
For us, it's a big honor, yeah, to receive this award because of the visibility, and it's also a recognition that supports our efforts that are very, very innovative. Then when you make innovation out of the formal rules, you have to have this type of validation. You know, I am a field operator. I do conservation at through the local communities, and my perspective is very different, you know, of what a formal activity could be. You know, I am an activist, bottom-up, grassroots activist, mobilizing the local communities.
Now, one of the things you did was you successfully introduced payments for ecosystem services in Sierra Gorda. You convinced the state government to offset the emissions from their fleet of vehicles by paying forest owners who lived in extreme poverty to restore their forest. How the heck did you manage that?
You know, I have been trying to give an economic value to the ecosystem services maybe 20 years ago, because I simply think that it is not fair for us to ask them to preserve the forest with any economic return for them. Those lands are all what they have in life, and they are extreme poverty communities, and we need them to preserve their forest.
And so I'm taking it then that what they were doing, they were exploiting the forest, but it was for things like fuel, for their basic necessities. Is that correct?
Illegal logging for wood, very cheap, not good business for anybody, or simply beginning a fire to change the used land, you know, the land use,
I see.
You know, from forests to livestock fields.
So what sparked you to undertake this project, to start getting things turned around?
When we realized that through the global protocols was not going to work, never, then we gave a big jump, asking to the local subnational level to support these ideas. And then we developed more flexible rules for our local protocol, and also develop a very robust and transparent compensation because we are far from the global rules, but it doesn't mean that we don't have a very strong product. No, I am very sophisticated, and what we have developed has all the scientific base for it. It's just that it has flexible rules that fits with the forest owners.
Can you give me an example of one of those flexible rules?
Yeah, for example, many of my reforestations were left out when we got the CCB BCS validation. No, they were left out because we didn't have the land rights by the national minister. But to get the rights of the land through that ministry, it's almost impossible. Yeah, my landowners don't have a birth certificate. Yeah, they are illiterate. They don't have tax registration. They don't have social security. They are really wild. It's part of the wilderness, no? These rural communities that live in very far places, they are the ones who own the forest. Then I realized all those facts, and we developed a certification by the municipal government.
Okay.
Instead of the national federal level, I have this registration by the municipalities, and that's good enough. Nobody is, it's a peaceful region, we don't have land rights trouble. It's enough. It's enough to prove the property of the land.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Sierra Gorda itself.
Oh, Sierra Gorda is a splendid region. It's the most eco-diverse reserve in Mexico. Yeah, it means that we have 14 different types of vegetation. The same we have black bear, the tucanes, or military macaws in the same region, from semi-desert to Douglas fir forest.
And how large is the area?
It's 1 million acres.
Wow.
Under a federal decree, and some more municipalities in the neighboring state of San Luis Potosí gave us a universe of 1,000 communities. 1,000 communities, extreme poverty, and they own the land. That's the complexity, because it's not like a national park here in the States where all the land is federal property, federal lands. In the case of Mexico, you do conservation in their lands.
Oh, really? Okay. Now, how do you deal with the pressures you would get from people who still want to exploit the resource, and people who still want to use Sierra Gorda and take the resource away?
That's why we look in purpose to get this territory with a federal decree, because it gives us the normativity, the rules for the management. And we have been very successful in defending the territory. Yeah, the building of dams, or the new highway, or the high electricity power line. No, you cannot do it because it's a biosphere reserve, and our command is conservation of biodiversity, and we have the rules and we exercise them.
But how do you face down a government or a huge corporation? I mean, is there a great grassroots and an upswell from the people to stop this?
We have been successful, and we will be in the future, because we have a governance that has grown bottom up in the region.
So it starts with the people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What do you want to achieve in the future beyond Sierra Gorda?
I want to replicate all over Mexico.
Can you do that?
I am on the way.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We know by our experience how to restore the soils, how to keep the forest, how to deal with the communities, how to get social participation, how to develop new skills. And we want to to share it because we are committed with this cause, but without financial or political support, you cannot go further. And I want to go.
And will you be able to get that financial and political support, do you think?
Yeah, everything will come because I always have worked in the big trust of the Providence, and I'm ready to replicate. Yeah, ready to raise a wave at the national level of love and local entrepreneurship, good practices, bottom up. That's our specialty.
Okay, now when you were speaking earlier today, you ended with a song. What did that song mean?
Not everything is lost. I came to bring my heart.
Why don't you sing it for us?
¿Quién dijo que todo está perdido? Yo vengo a entregar mi corazón. And I'm sure that with love, going back to our values, recognizing the fraternity that we have with the planet, maybe we can make a miracle with love.
Thank you
Oh, no.
very much.
My pleasure. Sometimes I feel so despair, no? So it's such a small answer that I don't know. I have my hope that we may awake hearts, not minds. Hearts, because what we need is
If you get in
let
here,
the love
that will
flow. Yeah, it has been like a rainbow with no color. Yeah, we have to put the color back to life.